We are here. Charles, why are you muted?
I don't know. But hey, Kim, how's it going? I'm unmuted here. My lighting isn't awesome, but I'm here.
We are here. Let's go. Hey guys, if you are jumping on in, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And also, how does the sound like right now? I like ran into this office and got everything set up pretty super quick, and now it's the background. You guys see it's Miami. I don't know if you see it, but yeah, we're doing another interview with Charles, and Charles is an unconventional type of client. Wait, actually, Charles, I hear a lot of noise. What is that? Is there someone in the background?
There may be someone in the background. I don't hear the. What does it sound like?
Just like rustling.
Rustling? Yeah.
And
All right.
someone's voice.
All right. Man, this mic is picking up everything. That's too bad. There are people around.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just wing it. We'll just go. All right, so Charles, welcome. And this is gonna be like all the other interviews, which is chill. We're just hanging out here. I want to talk about your story because your story is pretty unconventional. You got into our highest level program, which is called Launch Legends now.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know what program I'm in.
You're just inner circle. And so I wanted to do an interview with you to talk about your experience, but also to, you didn't do a launch, but you're doing really well anyway without launching like crazy. And the funny thing is you help people in their launches now, which to me is so ironic. But, all right, this is for those of you who are like, I don't want to do a launch. I don't know how I can even make income from not launching. And Charles' set of skills is very particular, which, and so we'll just dive right on into it. So Charles, let us know what got you into this crazy world of learning about, the existence of Ignite, Facebook groups. What made you even like look our way, and what are the things were you doing before?
Okay, so the way that I got into Ignite was I got onto Clubhouse in the early days of Clubhouse, and people were talking about how I should build a funnel. And I guess the whole reason I was on Clubhouse or looking to go online anyhow is that I took Sam Ovens' program about consulting, and so I got into consulting as a way to scale, but then I got like a book of clients, and they took up all my time across the different clients, and I was constantly going to other people's offices and sitting in on meetings I didn't need to be on. And it's not like Zoom where you can just turn off your camera and mic. You have to sit there and smile like an idiot and pretend that you like the people and enjoy what they're saying. So then I was like, man, I got to change this. And so the way to change this is to move online. And then I started thinking about, well, how do I templatize this and turn it into a course? And so then I started recording and putting together a course. Fast forward back to what I was talking about with Clubhouse. I was seeing how everyone was creating funnels and Facebook groups and stuff to launch and get people into their courses or their training programs. And so when I did that, I needed a software to automate because like my background is tech. So I was like, I don't want to do all this manually. This sucks. So then I started looking for software to automate it. And I found this software that was not GroupConvert. And it was supposed to work, but it didn't. and I contacted support, and support was like, well, we can meet with you in like a week or two. Like, I forget what their Calendly link said, but I was like, I need to do this now. And I did. I followed your documentation. So anyhow, he wasn't going to support me over email. We needed to do a Zoom. So then I just Googled alternatives to whatever his software was called. I don't remember at the time. And then I came across GroupConvert, and I had no idea who Kim Dang was or anything. But I looked through the funnel, and I looked through the page that I hit. It wasn't even the top of funnel. I just looked at the page that I hit, and I saw Troy Dean, and I was in Troy Dean's program, so automatic trust factor there. Like, Kim won, like she targeted me with an ad with that. And so I was like, well, if this is good enough for Troy Dean, it's good enough for me. He has a successful international community and membership and program. So I grabbed it, installed it. I was like, boom, I'm going to be just like Troy Dean now. This is going to be amazing. And it didn't work. I was like, man, what is up with this? What is up with these Chrome extensions not working? But the difference was I hit their support, and support responded immediately. And I did what support said, still didn't work. But then they sent me a Loom from Kim explaining how to get it to work. And I tried that a couple times, and it did work. So it was the speediness of support that got me into Kim Dang's world. And then I got in, looked at all of the videos that were currently in the system, and got overwhelmed, had my one-on-one with Kim, tried to follow it, still failed with flying colors. But Kim is amazing, and it was like, let's correct course. I'm going to eat this food while I help you correct course. And so she did another unscheduled one-on-one. So I guess for all of those who aren't picking up what I'm putting down, it's the speed of support and one-on-one interaction that I guess keeps me in the Kim Dang GroupConvert Launch Legends world, whatever we're calling it now. They're really responsive and helpful, and so yeah, it was. So Kim Dang showing up. I don't know why I keep saying your full name. Kim showing up and being really helpful in making sure I correct course. But even after correcting course, the launch failed with flying colors, and it's a matter of expectation. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was the most important aspect of things. And I get it. There are people out here killing the game, just jumping in, launching immediately. That wasn't my story. But in failing a bunch, I figured out what are the important parts of launching. And then this unconventional way that I make money that Kim was talking about. What I did was I joined other groups, because like from being on Clubhouse and stuff, there are people out here with tons of money or huge audiences, huge followings, and they're not maximizing revenue from these audiences. And so I got some clients that needed support in that way. And so I use my knowledge about my tech knowledge, building apps and websites, building funnels, and what I learned about setting up launches. And because they already had an audience, I feel like that's part of the challenge for a lot of people. It's like getting the people in your Facebook group to do the launch, or getting eyeballs on you. But when you have clients that have eyeballs on them, and they're just not converting, it's a matter of putting the systems in place, and then the money. It's like fishing in a barrel. You just, with dynamite, you just throw the dynamite, the whole barrel explodes, all the fish are dead, and you just eat. So that's kind of the unconventional route. Kim was talking about. But in that, that's how you get to this 100K in a month. It's 250K clients, and that's like a 6-month retainer to build out their entire funnel, build a social media presence, like make it super clean and branded. So, I mean, I wouldn't go out and try to just. It's the key. Someone said something about fishing ponds. I missed it.
He said, it is the key. Stocked fishing pond.
Absolutely, absolutely. Makes everyone look like a winner. Yeah, no fish finder needed. So yeah, I wouldn't go out there though and be like half cocked and not know what you're doing or not have a really good skill set in one of the areas. And in order to take on clients like that, needed to build a team, which Kim and her community and her coaches were instrumental in helping me with that. Because from other communities, I heard like, you need to build a team. It's not what to do, but who to do it. Like everyone says that, but like as far as like actually helping you do it, I don't know. People will give you like some job postings, and they're like, "Oh, post on Facebook. Go look on X, Y, and Z." But I needed someone, and I needed them now. And some people from Kim's team were like, I know someone, and like they can start tomorrow. And so that was super helpful. That I'll never forget this. That month, like they took 55, and it wasn't even a complete month. 55 hours of what I usually do off my plate. So it's like, imagine what you would do with 2 extra days in your month. And that's when I saw the power of that. So anyhow, fast forward, hired 2 copywriters, 2 like techs that are pretty good with funnels and stuff. And I'm still doing work, but I do a lot of the client facing stuff now. Then after that, it was like I created another job, a project manager job. Now I need to manage all these people. So then I hired a project manager to make sure it keeps running, everything keeps running. So that's their primary goal. Their skill set, I guess their other skill set outside of that is like social media marketing and like blanking on the name, but basic social selling. And so when they're not doing the project management thing, because it's not a full-time job, but then they're doing social selling and social media for clients. But the project management, that was game changing, and that I didn't have to do that. And they're also following up with clients and answering their questions or making sure I see messages and don't let them go by the wayside. So that's the secret sauce. I told you all the secrets, guys. So I guess recap. Step 1, find communities of people who need your particular services and skill set. Step 2, build a team to support your skill set or offer, whatever it is that you do. Find someone to manage that team is, I guess, step 3 or 2B. And then I guess step 4 is close them. I guess another step that I put into place, but I have not yet used, is find a financer, so you don't have to carry the debt and deal with like following up with the clients and making sure they pay you. Because with a financer, you can get paid in full, and then they pay back whatever mechanism by which they got the money. So yeah. So right now I'm carrying the debt for quite a bit of people. Thanks, James. I thought it was a good one. Thanks for being such an active participant in this conversation. It's cool. So yeah, so right now I'm still carrying the debt and following up with people, but I have that piece in place now. So everyone from here on out, they're gonna get financed. Um, some people, and then some people have the money, they're sitting on it, but it's like a whole OPM thing. They want to use other people's money or like pay a little, kick the tires, see. Um, so there are those people. There are people with money that don't want to part with it, and that's probably why they have a lot of it. But you have to eat too. So
Yeah. Well, Charles, the things you've accomplished, doing $100,000 months on, like, tell me your journey before, because you mentioned some things about, hey, people tell you build a team, but they don't like inject some team members into your ecosystem, and all of a sudden you save 55 hours that month, and you're like, oh my god. And then so tell me your journey before that. How long were you just trying to figure out like how to? Because I remember your story with like you can share as much as you want or as little as you want, Charles. But like your your journey has been quite harrowing. Has been quite, it wasn't like all rainbows and roses that led you to the business that you have now. So, can you share a little bit about uh, the road here? What were your numbers? What was your revenue before joining Ignite? What did it look like in terms of your month to month?
yeah, so steadily I was making like 5K a month, um, from like five and a half, and then like you'd find like a one-off client who needed a funnel or a site built, and then you charge them 5 to 10K. So that month you may have made 15K, um, 10 or 15K. So that's how things were. I guess as far as
How long was that? How many months of that was going on?
how long was I a slave? Um,
This is
I
why
was.
I love Charles. Your humor is like
It was a long. It
Hmm.
was. I guess okay. So I started doing the consulting thing, and like I guess I officially started my LLC in 2017. So 2017 into to I don't know. I think January of this year is the 100K month, but it took. I guess it took that long, but again, like there was many programs in between that, like, and from 2016 is like Troy Dean, Sam Ovens, and then um, I don't know. There's a bunch of different programs because I'm searching for the answers. I'm looking to crack the code, um, and a lot of people just have like this recorded content. Not that Kim has the most recorded content of any. I now have a client that like may have Kim beat. Like they have thousands of hours, but like a lot of people just swear by their content. But what what I find valuable about Kim, or I don't know, it's I don't know if this is how it was designed, but it's the a la carte or like the tailored bespoke. We're gonna, even though we have this content, this framework, we will help you where you need help. And so that's actually, I think, what has helped me with the breakthrough. Um, and I and while, because I'm a technical person, I've already been building websites. Like building the funnels, building the bots, blah blah blah, all that stuff. It wasn't foreign to me, but I have learned some cool strategies from the way Kim and her team do things, and so I've been able to take some of those things and implement them in other people's stuff. But yeah, so I think that answers the question about the journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
slave since 2016. Yeah, okay.
So about 5 year slavery journey.
Yeah,
Buying a bunch of programs and seeing what will hit, what will work. And I remember that for when you first joined, our program was very like kind of in its infancy, kind of like still trying to figure out what it is that we like super specialize in. And now, I just interviewed Oliver, his very first time pitching, launching. He did $17,000. Greg, before just that's literally today. Greg, earlier today, he came in. His biggest month was like 30,000, but that's like hit or miss. And then his very first launch, his very first pitch into his group, the way that we showed him, he did $85,000.
oh wow.
And so he's like, shit. He's like, this stuff works. So like I interviewed them because it's very much a story of can you go from hit or miss and maybe to, absolutely your life is going to change forever. Yeah. And I interview you, Charles, because you showed to me that you were willing to be patient and you were willing to see where it goes because you were searching for your own solution, which is making money, like really your own way. A launch didn't feel good to you. And I mean, you can still launch, Charles, because we got it oiled, we got it like nailed down now. And but very much so, it was because it proved to me that as a program, you can be a solution, you can be a problem solver for your people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you shove them into like a round hole when they're
Square
like
peg,
a
round
square peg. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, just so you guys know, when Charles signed up for my Inner Circle program, I like kind of last minute invited him to an event where I felt like he would get a client. And then during that event, Charles was pretty introvert as a person, and I'm like coaching him how to just talk to people. And I showed him the importance of it's not technically what you know, it's also how you communicate it, who you talk to. That's not in like a fancy website that might have them say yes or like a fancy demo, but it's how do you get in to these circles and talk to these people. And that's what happened. He was just up for it, and he's like, okay, let's go. And same thing with just spotting people that are in my world that could best benefit with what Charles has to offer, and making those connections. Not in a way where it's like I'm going to create a 3-way group chat with you, but look, I met these people and you can come along for the ride. And I feel like Charles was very much open towards that, and because of that, it allowed him to walk through some doors that people who are more afraid wouldn't walk through. And because of that, like courage that is within him, it enabled him to have the success that he has today. So that's also why I brought on Charles to do this interview, because he, I do get questions of, hey, if I don't want to do a launch, or hey, my case is kind of specific to this. Would it still work? And it would be like, do you feel like we could be resourceful for you? And our main, Charles teaches no code apps, really, or he he helped people have custom apps with his skill set and the team that he's built. So he's like the embodiment of a custom solution for people. And most of the time, when you're a coach, you're a course creator, to survive, you can't really be super custom. You have to learn how to have a scalable model. And Charles has managed to really like tap into closing people on $50,000 deals, and for a custom solution. And I think that's pretty rare in our world, not in the probably enterprise world, but in our world, it's pretty rare, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I appreciate those kind things that you said, Kim. I would say that's a huge benefit. What you just laid out is like your willingness to expose me or bring me along, or just say, I brought you here, now swim. Like, and I don't know, your willingness to put me in places that I wouldn't usually be in. But it's, I guess, the part that I control and or I can control, and the part that I encourage others to control is like the courage part. And it's not so much courage, it's like, how bad do you want to be, like at another point in your life? Like, how married are to where you're at? Like, do you want to stay here forever? Because, and the reason that I just do whatever Kim puts in front of me, it's like, well, what I'm doing currently isn't working, so let me try what she's suggesting, and because I want to get onto the other side. And so I encourage people to try different things. Business is like this iterative experiment, and there's no harm in trying. Like, make calculated movements and put yourself in uncomfortable places, because that's where you grow.
Yeah. So, so Charles, like, how do you feel? This is a question I always ask. What do you feel in terms of time? Did we help you collapse? Like, I know you were a slave for 6 years. What if you continued? Of course, with the knowledge in mind that we can't tell the future, we can't change the past. But in terms of shortcutting time for you, how did you feel being in the Ignite, the Launch Legends community? um, has changed, your timeline, and then also how do the way that you feel about your future shifted from before in your slavery mode to now? What do you see as like your future and what you can do now?
So the collapsing time question, that is complicated. So I definitely know that if I I don't know how many people believe in God, but it's an odd, like, I feel like this is a situation in which so many different things lined up that are just arbitrary. Like me finding Kim's needle in a haystack Chrome extension out of all Chrome extensions just by chance. And then my sales call ends up being like the very first sales call with one of Kim's at the time best like salespeople. Like that was her very first sales call, and then the program was in its infancy, and that's why I don't know, like it was trial and error, and I don't know, just a lot of things fell into place. And then like I think that's like the beginning of 2001. It's like Q1 2000. Did I say 2001? It's 2021. Definitely not 2001. I'd be 11 years old. I wasn't doing this. I'm not an 11-year-old. Anyhow, okay. And then by like August 2021, I'm at this launch event in Vegas for Kim's live event, and then maybe October I'm at this other event that Kim was talking. So it was just a lot of leaps, just blind leaps, like saying I don't what I'm doing isn't working. I need to do something different, and just moving along. And about those programs that I was telling you guys about buying into programs where there's your clientele are in it or people who need your services. Those weren't cheap either. Like some of those cost $18,000, and it's not. I told you I'm making like 5K a month on a regular basis. $18,000 to just drop isn't a small amount. It's more than 3 months of work if you don't get a website or something. So um, it took a lot of faith, and then like just things lining up or God lining up opportunities, and then me just walking through the door. I really think God brought Kim into my life. And then like I can I think so I think it collapsed things a lot because that's 1 year in which a lot of things happen to line up the and those other communities that I bought into, that's where the clients come from. So that like um yeah, when one community is 35K, and so keep in mind I was doing this for a long like those 5 to 6 years, so I had money saved up, but then it's like it's scary to drop that kind of money without the certainty of return. And uh, I can say that I more than broke even from buying into those communities and finding clients. So that the combination of Kim's opportunity and meeting Kim in this Launch Legends community, and their support and buying into those communities, that's like a quantum collapse, like worm spaceship going through a wormhole, cutting space in half and cutting a I don't know 30 million light year trip down to like maybe 4 years. That's pretty tremendous. And then the other thing that's really tremendous is a team. And even though the team, oh, I guess one thing I didn't say about team, I would hire in twos because something always happens to one of the people, or they're not like so. And then if something happens to them, then you're like, oh man, now I'm back to myself. So, but like if I look at all the team time and calculate it up, it's hundreds of hours, like weeks of time. Um, and like with those weeks of time, then you're doing other things, like you're doing CEO things, you're planning, you're strategizing, more, you're creating different products and value ladders. And how do we ascend people up value ladders, and how do we upsell people rather than, oh man, I got to do this work. And like it allows you to be in a different mind space. And then also the other mind space it takes you into is like, man, I don't really like doing this. I don't really want to do this. Who can do this? And then like you see what else your team can do. You're delegating, and then like if someone on your team can't do it and it's like a really frequent activity that has to be done, you hire someone. And then I found that now that once you have a team, like those people often know other people. And so it's like, hey, do you know someone that does this? And they're like, yeah, I have 5 cousins that do this. And then you find someone that, well, that's funny, but like the people actually do have friends. And so then like you have a team of people who kind of know each other and are kind of friendly and have a rapport already, and then they're communicating outside of like you even talk, like they're just figuring it out because they have a relationship. Um, and so that's cool too. That was a happy coincidence or accident, but yeah.
Yeah, I love that, Charles. I love that a fortunate series of events led you to me, and then from there you on blind faith. Trusted to come into Ignite, but even went deeper and joined what is now Launch Legends. And it felt like, it feels like coincidence, but at the same time, it was a lot of, I think you're a very smart person. I think you make decisions. I don't know. You're just really smart. So I don't think it's just completely blind. I think you saw certain things that you feel like would make sense. And, it turned out for the best. To me, I always felt like everything will work out. That's just the way I am. I'm like, of course, all the doors will open for you. Of course, people will say yes. Of course, if I'm gonna land somewhere and I try that thing, it's gonna work out. It's just the way I think. So there's like, when I invited you to come, and I'm like, well, this would make sense, and just everything plays out the way that I thought in my mind it would, and it's the way that I've lived life, and I feel like I don't know, that's just how I see it. So I'm like, yeah, of course. I don't know, there's just not like a lot of doubt when it comes to helping, because there's always going to be people, there's always a way, and and it can be fun. And I think like on the trip that we had and the event that you went to, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
A fun time.
I don't think you can be around Kim and not have fun. She just laughs at random, and then you start laughing. It's like, so what is she laughing at? No one else is laughing. All the strangers are looking at you because Kim is laughing, and yeah, it's like she's not crazy, guys. But there's also like two sides of Kim. There's like laughing, like just the Kim that you saw right now. But then there's like this intense, like blood in the water shark Kim, and I've seen that Kim. Like, so she gets really intense and she's serious about making things happen. So like I don't know, like you said, I think part of your success is you think that things are going to happen, you think they're going to work out, but like then there's an intensity to you to make it happen once the opportunity presents itself, and that's rare. Sometimes like people don't often have the mettle to make things happen. And I guess the caveat with everything that I said, guys, and Kim can vouch for this, I am not a balanced person. I don't have a good work-life balance. I'm constantly in this room in front of a computer working, and Kim even saw me like just work on a site and not eat while I was in Miami the last time, and just work. So I encourage people to have a work-life balance, but a lot of this happened because I'm just like determined to make this work out, and determined to have a different life, and like put in a whole bunch of hours until I make it happen. So it doesn't, like, I mean, the testimonials and the social proof where someone just puts together a launch and knocks it out of the park the first time, that's amazing and it's awesome. God bless those people. But there's a lot of people eating dirt, and it sucks, and you're gonna have to put in a lot of work and effort. But with people like Kim's team and Kim, like, there's the support behind you, and the mass, like the amalgamation of different launches and the wisdom to know what works and what doesn't work to cut your time in half. Due to failures like mine, so you're welcome. They have the data to say, don't do that. Charles effed that up and it was miserable. Don't ever do that again. So yeah, but like, I don't know. You're learning from the best. You're learning from some pioneers. There's multiple people out teaching similar things, but the level of support. I often buy into software because of support. Like, if a software company is huge and has a bunch of testimonials, that's cool. But like, I will buy a smaller, lesser known platform if I know that they have amazing support and responsive, and this team is definitely responsive and support minded and like individual oriented. Kim knows the names of a bunch of people, like a bunch of her clients. I don't know if she's grown at this point to the point where she doesn't know the names of all of her clients, but on the calls, she knows everyone, can address everyone, say a random fact or something she remembers about them. And I think that's different about here. And I've been in a lot of other programs. Everyone's not known, and like they're just another line item in Stripe. So I don't know. That's different. Even though this is online and digital gets really impersonal, I think the personal touching that matters still in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we enroll a lot more clients now, but I love being in the details of the stories because I think, they're very, like, people are very fascinating and the changes that they go through. Like, you went through immense change, and even though you're in your room and you're working, and I want to say there's no shame in that. Like, there is absolutely nothing shameful about, or you need to have any kind of work-life balance if it's your season to really go for it. And I think that's fine. Like, when there's a season of growth, there's a season of going for it. It's totally fine, and it's enjoyable, or at least it's not horrible. You're like, quite enjoyable, questionable. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there are seasons to your life, and if you gotta grind and you want to do it, and it's like that time, that moment for you, then go for it. But all right, you guys. Usually my interviews are about 45, 50 minutes long, and we're heading up to that time. I wanted to interview Charles to give you a sense of, like, we work with clients even if they aren't launching. A launch is amazing, and we have the template for that. But the thing is, we find solutions for you, and we really figure out what is not working, what's working, and try to amplify what is working in a way that's inclusive and fun. So, and Charles is one of my funniest clients. He cracks me up all the time because he's like, his humor is really dry. And so it's very like, also, Charles Icon is really excited to see you again. He really
Cool.
likes you.
That was cool hanging out with him and the team.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell me, who do you serve? Because, some of the people watching will probably want to get your services. What's a really good client for you to get? And then where can they reach you online?
Yeah, so I serve individuals or businesses who have an online offer and an audience, and they need to convert, and they need to either make more money off the audience, so like create a value ladder, or effectively launch and automate the launch process and make money in an evergreen fashion, or like by repeatedly doing the launches, but have the automation behind them to support that, so that it's really easy, simple to keep track of everything. And ideally, those clients have budgets. And the last thing I will say about that is it's great when you find clients. Like, so all of my business before, even in slavery, was like word of mouth. And like when you do good work and you show up and you don't let people down, they'll refer other people. So all my business was referral. All the sites, everything I've ever done is referral. But it's cool when you get clients with deep pockets, because it's referral there too. And people with deep pockets know other people with deep pockets. And then like you have this self-sustaining business from deep pocket people. So if you have deep pockets, come find me.
Deep pocket people. Oh, that should be on your shirt. Deep pocket people.
Hashtag deep pockets.
All right, Charles, I'm going to go ahead and put you back in the waiting room. Thank you so much for showing up today. Always amazing to hang out with you. And I'm going to put you back there. You can click the X to get out and get on with your day.
All right, bye, Kim. Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.
Bye. Bye. All right, you guys. So that was Charles. He's really amazing. And oh, why is my background all weird and messed up like this? Let me see the virtual background, turn that off. Oh, wow. It's because the light is changing. It's because actually this is the Miami in the background. This is the Miami skyline here. No virtual screen. It's just straight up. The cart is closing tomorrow. And I want you to, if you missed the interview with Greg earlier, where he went in, he wanted to do a launch. He got $85,000 on his very first launch into his group, into a brand new group. And you want to do your launch, you want to fix your launch, then come on in and monetize your group with your launch. If you want a more custom solution, we do have that as well at a higher level. Again, Charles is our Launch Legends, our Inner Circle client, where he came in and he's like, I don't want to do a launch, but I want to make $100,000 a month. I want to make more than what I've been doing. And for 6 years, he was doing $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 a month up and down, until now, where he's doing $100,000 months with clients who are paying him $50,000 each. So if that sounds like you want to have a more custom solution, we do have a higher level program for you in our ecosystem. Just have a chat with our team and schedule a call. Otherwise, the cart is closing tomorrow. So if you're slightly on the fence and you're considering joining us, we would love to have you. If you are a good fit, we do turn down 60% of those who apply to work with us, because we want to make sure you're a good fit. You hit the ground running, you get massive results, and you have an amazing time while you're doing it. All right, if you are interested in joining us in Mexico in July the 15th to the 18th, I rented a 15-room bedroom mansion right on the water, and we're going to have a 20-person private chef plus waiter waitresses on staff, along with fire twirlers and drummers. We're also going to be playing dodgeball as well, adult dodgeball. It's an event where I bring clients together. We have an amazing time. We learn together, and yeah, hope to see you there. #ticket if you want more details on coming to joining us in Tulum. There's only one room left that we have in terms of staying there, so make sure that you #ticket and we can get you all the details. All right, that's it. Have a wonderful rest of your day and see you in the next video. Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.